Hey friends, it's Jill here with the Hometown Homestead, and today we are in the laundry room for an update to my best viewed video so far on YouTube, which is the review of my GE Combo all-in-one washer and dryer. So we're going to talk about what is annoying, what's downright gross, plus how to fix it and the tools that you'll need to make sure that you get the job done. So if you own this machine or are considering it, you definitely need to see what we're about to share today. To set the stage for the details I'm going to share here with you today, we have run 121 loads in this machine in the last 90 days. We are a family of 7 kids, age and range from 10 to 2, so we have all different sizes of clothes and people using the machine. Now, this is one of my number one annoyances, and especially a problem with small kids, is small socks. And these socks get down in this blue gasket and they get absolutely soaked. So if this is something that is going to be a huge problem for you, if you have a lot of small items, just know that you are going to have to rewash a couple items each time that you use the machine, which isn't the best, but it is my number one annoyance. So take that for what you will. All of our clothes every single time have come out clean and dry using a few tips that I'm about to share here with you today. We don't have problems with wrinkles, but to avoid that, I use a wrinkle care setting on the machine itself. This allows the machine to continue to tumble after the load is complete until you open the door, or 8 hours, whichever is first. The clothes will be fluffed and then the machine will stop, and it will continue to operate back and forth between those two functions until you get the door open. This has been a really nice help for us in order to be able to get those clothes wrinkle free, but also to prevent them from being humid and sticky. I know some people think their clothes still feel damp when they pull them out, and using this wrinkle care option, or the wrinkle control option, has really allowed us to be able to prevent that from happening. While we're talking about settings on the machine, there are downloadable cycles in the app for different purposes. So there's a power clean, a jean cycle, a swimwear cycle, and an air fluff cycle currently available. Another setting that we really like is the alert when the wash is complete. This will send a text directly to my phone to let me know that the wash cycle has finished, and it lets me run back and pull out anything that does not need dried, whether it's athletic clothes or even a set of wool that we've thrown in. We're able to pull it out without any issues or interrupting the overall process just by pushing the pause button and removing those items. Before we jump into the down and dirty and absolutely disgusting part of this video, I want to tell you that my overall opinion is that we've really been happy with this machine. It's super easy to use, and the kids have been able to even get into a routine and successfully use it. So it has really made our laundry a lot less complicated than it was before we got the all-in-one unit. That said, it gets pretty gross. So here I'm just showing you what our filter looks like. It hasn't even given me an alert to clean it, but I did go ahead and pull it out. What you are seeing is inside the blue fins past the filter system. So all of the lint you are seeing there passed through all of the filters and is on the coils themselves. To clean this off, I purchased the cleaning brush kit from GE, and I will link this below, as well as the other items that I'm going to use during this cleaning process. These are affiliate links, so I will get a small thank you back from the company for anyone that does use my links to make any of the purchases of the items I'm about to show you. These brushes are absolutely mandatory in order to reach all of the areas where this gross buildup of lint is coming from. They have a long, flexible shaft that allows you to bend in both directions once you're inside the machine to get back into all of the cracks and crevices. I will tell you, I really think GE should put these in the machine and make sure that every single owner has them, because without this, there is going to be a lot of issues with this machine. The coils themselves had that lint on that you saw initially, but not only that, it was slightly moist. So I can only imagine what's going to happen inside that machine if moist lint builds up on the filters. Now, this is after 6 months, and remember, I have cleaned this before. Not only that, but this is only all visible when I get my lights and really shine them in there well. So to most of you who aren't pulling out camera lights to record in your laundry room and try to look inside your machine, you might not even know this is happening, which is another big concern for me. In addition to the buildup that is over on those fins, which you can see here, look straight back down when I show you this angle right here. There's lint, that black or gray is lint buildup right at the back where the drawer slides in. That also needs to be removed. And keep in mind, you just saw me working in there. And over to the left, actually. You just saw me working in there, and this is still what's left. So a lot of lint is dropping before the filters. Some is getting behind it. And look, it's so gross. These big balls are actually inside the machine. So this brush that I'm using now is a little bit stiffer and allows me to rub inside the back to get that right behind the drawer. Just note that both of these brushes, again, made by the company, do have a rounded tip on them to ensure that you're not doing any real damage when you're in there working around. Moving forward, my plan and recommendation to those that have this machine is to use these brushes for a quick clean each time I get an alert to clean that foam filter. This should prevent the buildup that we are seeing here after only 6 months of use. You can imagine how full it will get after a year or so. So again, if you just make sure to brush this machine out, brushing the blue coils as well as what's dropping before the filter and at the back of the drawer, every single time you get that alert to wash the foam filter, I think we'll be able to prevent the buildup of what you're seeing here. Now you can take a look at how it looks after the work that I've done. The filters themselves much cleaner. The back of the compartment also is clean again. There's a small amount left, but that worked for me. And the left side is also free of the big chunks of lint that were sitting there before. This is what came out. And the lint actually sprayed all over the machine itself. So there was a little cleanup involved even with that process itself. Now to a much easier one. This is the drain filter, and this is my fix. A lot of you said in the previous video that I should have used a cookie sheet, and I didn't tell you I actually did try that, but the lip on the cookie sheet was 1 inch tall, and I haven't been able to find one that's more narrow. When you use a 1 inch lip, it is not the appropriate angle to allow the water to drain forward. It's pretty flat, and that will allow some water to funnel back under your machine. So you don't want to do that. I did some searching. I could not find one that was less than 1 inch, so I settled on this pet food mat that is 3/4 of an inch. I would not recommend one smaller than this, and again, I'll link this exact one down below. It's less than $10, and it is going to take on a whole bunch of water, which you're about to see here. Now, before I started, I did slide some paper towels folded up under the machine itself to ensure that no water is getting under there. And then at this point, all that water came forward. You can see this filter catches all kinds of little trinkets, including an empty shell casing from my kiddos being out hunting and some just gross lint that is actually not getting back up to the filter. So to clean this out, I'm just going to grab some paper towels and give it a good wipe down to remove anything that's clogging up here. If your machine is starting to dry slower, you might have a clogged lower filter, or you might also have a buildup of lint up above, which I've already shown you before. This one's really just a wipe out, and then you're ready to put it back in. But I personally do choose to go ahead and wipe out the inside of the compartment where the little blue filter itself does sit in order to remove all of the dirt that's down in there. I just think this might help prevent any smell that would accumulate down there, just to keep it nice and clean going forward. That is totally up to you. This is definitely an extra step and not required. And again, I'm cleaning this filter monthly. Now I set those paper towels back down here on my mat, and you can't see here, but one of them is actually sticking out the side, so it's wicking a little bit of this water out on my floor. So when you see me wiping up my floor in a minute, it's right behind my knee from my own error, not from the mat itself. Right there, I'm catching my mistake. Now, once you put the blue filter back in, you want to dry up that little funnel lip as well as the bottom, which you see me doing right there, because some water can actually drip off and you don't want that to drip down on your floor. Once this is complete, you just need to slide your mat out of the way. You will see me doing that here, as well as pulling out the paper towel that I have put underneath. I am wiping the floor with my hand just to verify that it's dry, as well as seeing that the paper towel is completely dry, which you see here. I'm tossing that on to help absorb the water. I'll give you a quick tip. The first time I used this mat, I tried to slide it onto a cookie sheet to go ahead and dump that water out. And that was a total fail. So just grab some towels and use your paper towels that you've been using during the process and soak up that water with towels so that you're not worried about moving this flexible mat, because it really isn't one that you can easily move without pouring that water all over your floor, which defeats the purpose in the first place. So I hope these tips that I have shared with you have helped you see how to properly clean this machine, my best tips after 6 months of use, and how it's working for our family. Again, I do want to reiterate links to everything in the description as well as the machine. If you're still on the fence and going to make a purchase, there's a link to Best Buy as well as Home Depot down there. I do receive small commissions on that as a thank you for all the work that I've done. And I also just want to let you guys know that this machine is not for everyone, but it has been a fantastic addition to our family. So I want to thank you again for stopping by. If you have any more questions or suggestions, make sure to leave them down below. I appreciate all of you, and I hope to see you back really soon. Bye, friends.